Hello, Capricorn. My name is Kristen Simone Hansen, and welcome to Sea Goat Secrets. Should I give, or should I just keep chasing? Okay. Alright, so Capricorn, October is a pretty big month for you. Very big, actually. There are major breakthroughs happening on all fronts, mainly due in part to the eclipses, the moon transits, and the amount of alignments that are in Libra. But that is bigger for the career reading in terms of Libra because it represents the 10th house, and I'll dive a lot deeper into how it is affecting your career and your status in that sector. But how it's affecting you on a personal level and the way you show up in the world is also a very, there's a lot of transformation in that respect, and that's what we're going to talk about in this video now. First things first, you are bursting through major karma. So all of the weight that you've been carrying for 15 years, some would say so, you know, you've been carrying a lot of weight for some time, but the residual stuff that's been going on since last year, it's around the Scorpio eclipse up until this point, there are certain things that you guys have not been able to put down. So it's like piece by piece things have been becoming lighter, and that change and that transformation and all that shifting that you've been going through has been giving you major character development, has made you into a very different person than who it is that you were not too long ago. I know that right now, for many of you, the strain that you've been under can feel as if though you've been waiting on the world to change, but I keep emphasizing the biggest, most important thing for you to do is take a look into the mirror, to really look at your reflection and understand how far you have come from where you were. Specifically, if you want to look at like March 2016, because that was the last time we had a Libra solar eclipse. So, and that was a long time ago. So if you want to look back at that time period and think about different ideas that you had for yourself, dreams that you had, goals that you wanted to set, the visualizations that you made, you now are in a time when all of those things that you were thinking about then have come into fruition now, whether you were actually processing them or not. And even just the things that you wanted to create for yourself over the last couple of years, you have become that person. You've changed and grown and blossomed greatly in even just a year for many of you. So that's one of the biggest things I want you guys to focus on in terms of karmic rewards. You're not waiting on the world to change. The universe has been changing you, and it's just a matter of you now looking into yourself and seeing that shift yourself, okay? So major breakthroughs, again, releasing karmic weight. What and who you have been investing in, you're going to start to see returns on those investments, especially when it comes to the people themselves. October is going to bless you with the fact that more and more people are just going to be showing up for you in a more positive light. So there's something about your energy and what it is that you're radiating that just makes people want to give to you, work with you, connect with you, love you, most importantly. It's like they're seeing you like with new glasses on, you know. It's like it's as if the muddy vision that people have had, it's like it's cleared, and now everyone's eyes are crisp and they can see you for all of the glory that you are, and all that you have to offer, and how beneficial you are on a work level, on a personal level, on a love level, and then also just friendship to friendship. People are going to want to have you in their lives. You're shining very bright and are very magnetic. And for you guys, a lot of the time you can be a little introverted, most of you, so it can kind of feel a little bit uncomfortable initially, getting the amount of attention that you're going to be getting. Try not to repel. Allow yourself to move slowly, most importantly be who you are, but embrace the new attention, and especially the new found difference in terms of how you're being treated even by the people that have already known you. Lovers and friends kind of seeing you again with a new set of glasses and really wanting to give to you and be close to you and spend time with you. So most importantly, like I keep saying, these eclipses are bringing big blessings. You're going to be, obviously you are introspective because of what's going on with the Libra transits. You are really focused on the way you're showing up in the world and who you're showing up in the world as. You're aware of yourself. You're aware of where you've been. You know that where it is that you want to go and what it is that you don't want to repeat again. You are aware of mistakes that you've made in the past and the things that other people have done to you that you weren't necessarily happy about. You don't want to repeat certain cycles, and you don't want anyone or anything around you that is going to compromise the way in which you've now learned to love yourself, value yourself, show up in the world as who you really are. So on a personal level, you're very aware of your status in society, and you're very focused on who it is that you want the world to understand that you are based on the work that you've put into who it is that you are up until this point. Sorry about that, Capricorn. So yeah, your sense of identity is a big conversation. So what it is that this can bring up is some insecurity. I've actually kind of started that already, but the good thing is on the other side of it will be a lot of confidence, a lot of self-assurance. By the end of October, you're going to have this kind of like big boss energy. You know, you're going to feel very comfortable in your own skin, very confident. You know who you are, walking out with your chest out a little bit more, feeling like no one can tell you who you are. No one can tell you anything about yourself, which in the past, many people could tell you things about yourself and cut you down and break you down. Now you guys, by the end of October, are going to feel very stable in your own skin. And the lovers around you, the love that you have, the friends that you have, the colleagues, your work environment, pretty much everything is going to be working cohesively and validating the confidence that you're going to have by the end of this month, which is good. You're just, it's gearing up for your season in terms of all of that that vibrato and that confidence that is well-deserved and has been hard-earned. So that's some of the things in terms of the end of October, but let's continue to keep going. You're pretty much ending big things in order to create new ones. So everything is fresh, renewing, and rewiring your relationships. So what you'll notice when it comes to the eclipses is cycles that have been going on for a very long time are going to end for good, and you won't be able to have the opportunity to go back. So it sounds good on paper, right? When you're thinking about something that has been painful or difficult, but you know, with every pro there is a con, right? And with every loss there is grief. And whatever it is that you have to let go of, or whomever it is that you have to let go of, you're going to get a major return on your investment. Whatever it is that is meant to leave is whatever it is that is supposed to leave is meant to leave, and it's bringing you back to where to center in terms of where it is that you want to go. I'm sorry, I've been stuttering all throughout this video. I don't know, something probably going on with the Mercury transits. I think that Mercury is still in Virgo actually, and I'm probably over criticizing. So, but anyway. Yeah, so with the things that are ending, let them go, because the things that you need that are the best for you are coming in right after the fact. Big beginnings, huge endings, right? So you're shedding your skin, you're transforming, you're evolving. You guys in general have been like a snake in terms of change and transformation and growth. You've gone through major death in order to be reborn. You're like completely different people than you were even just last year or 2 years ago, wherever it may be. You have become, you know, you are truly the viewpoint of the snake and the egg. And October is going to see that final experience as if it's the finale of all the transformation that you have gone through in terms of seeing this new self. So things that have been going on in your subconscious, especially all throughout that Venus retrograde, where you were hyper aware of what it is that hurt you in the past, debts, issues going on with your finances, and relationships that strained you of all sorts. So during that time, you were going through pain, you were going through difficulty. The universe was also testing you, holding off on things that you truly desired. You were really kind of a victim to divine timing, and you've been that way for a while. But through all of this divine timing playing out, it's made you into, like, gold is tested by fire, right? And diamonds are created through pressure. So all of this pressure has completely refined you. Again, I keep emphasizing, take a look in the mirror. Like, it's really important for you guys to do this practice, because you've become someone different, and who it is that you become is absolutely beautiful, and it is something that you envisioned for yourself in the past, but you just didn't know how it was going to come into fruition. But all of that manifestation that you've had during that Venus transit, when you were saying to yourself what it is that you truly desire in terms of your finances, or your love life, or your friendship life, or your social status, this is when you're going to see that come full circle. The kind of connections that you've been wanting to have, the contracts you've been wanting to have, the money flow you've been wanting to have, is now here we are in October, and you're seeing those things come full circle. But they come through great endings. They're coming through great transformation finales in order to bring about new beginnings. And so you have to surrender, because anything you try to hold on to will be ripped from underneath you. Okay? So while Venus has been in Leo, you guys have been going through it. Yes, Venus left retrograde at the beginning of September, but it still has been in Leo all throughout September. So you've been feeling the residual, kind of like the fat of the past, of what that retrograde showed you, and what it brought into your attention. Like I was saying, things with your money, things with your love life, things with your relationships and your connections in general. So these things were put front and center for you during the Venus retrograde, and your emotions were heightened, you were pressurized. And then after the retrograde ended, as I was saying, it's been this like residual feeling. So more waiting in terms of what it is that you desire the most, because you've been needing to learn still while Venus has been in your 8th house in Leo. So for many of you, it's been, I want a new love, and you've had to wait on that love because you've been kind of still putting the dots together and understanding things as Venus has still been in the 8th house, or things with your finances, things with your career, etc. Venus goes into Virgo on October 8th, which is great. So it's out of your 8th house, and now things are going to feel a lot lighter, because they've been in Leo for a long time. So it's going to feel like a breath of fresh air, like you no longer weigh, 500 pounds. While Venus was in Leo, you felt very heavy. It was beautiful because it refined you in terms of making you pay attention to your looks and your beauty and your identity, your sense of self, what it is that brings you more pleasure and vitality. However, it also, had you in a state of many kind of going back and forth with depressive thoughts, pressure in your emotions, again, feeling like a victim to divine timing, having to replay things over and over again in your mind from your past that, frankly, who wants to revisit certain memories? But you had to learn, you had to grow, you had to evolve. And now that is being lifted off of you, so you can finally get all the rewards of such a great healing process. And that is when Venus enters into Virgo. The good thing is it's love and its expression, or it's love expressed through the physical. So acts of service, things that people can do for you. And for you, Capricorn, that's a really big thing. You're the type of person that's like, I want to see it more than just believe it. If you love me, show me. If you want to work with me, show me. If you want, if I'm abundant, then make it in the physical. Bring it in terms of the pentacles, And this is what's going to happen for you. And like I was saying, a lot of people are going to be showing up to want to connect with you, and seeing the value that you hold and wanting to increase that value. And all of the things that you learned while Venus was in Leo are now here to make it so that you know how to set certain boundaries, you know how not to make certain mistakes. You're now in a place where you know exactly who it is that you are, and you're not budging, you're not compromising. And you're standing steady, and you're standing still within yourself and all it is that you've learned, and you know what you won't repeat and what it is that you won't tolerate. which is great. And I'm bringing my own congratulations in terms of the feeling of how lighthearted you're going to feel after the 8th comes and meets us in October. And Venus has gone out of the 8th house and gone out of your subconscious mind and gone out of all of your situations, your dynamics. No longer hyper focusing on cleaning up the past. It's now bringing in new future. So new beginnings that are tangible, that are real, that you can touch and feel. So it's great. Stable new beginnings. The day of the solar eclipse, we have the South Node in Libra, the new moon is in Libra, the sun is in Libra, and Mercury in Libra all at the same time, the day of the solar eclipse. So that is major 10th house activation for you. But keep in mind, it also opposes Chiron, so you are aware of who it is that you want to be, aware of where it is that you want to go, how you want to show up in the world, aware of the confidence that you want to have and how you want people to see you, but it's also bringing up past pain. The times when, so if you're feeling confident now, you're aware of the times in the past when you didn't. If you want to be known as an abundant powerhouse, emperor, empress energy in your career and in your life, you're also going to be aware of the times that you weren't that. If you are feeling very confident, even just in your looks, you're going to be aware of the times when you didn't. So it's going to be painful. It's not going to be an easy feeling. It's not going to be an easy experience going through that solar eclipse, new moon in Libra transit. However, on the other side of it, as I was saying, is going to be great growth, great elevation, and by the end of the month, you're just going to really be like loving yourself, really feeling yourself, very confident and stationary and stable in yourself, which is great. And there is a transit at the end of the month that we're going to go over in terms of that, so hold on to that idea. But yeah, we have when people have taken advantage of you or when you've been abused, especially in terms of family. So that solar eclipse is going to bring up a lot of things in terms of the past, family relationships, where it all began, where the pains and the difficulties first began versus where they are now. So just do a lot of, breathing, work yourself through it, because there's a lot that's going to be going through your subconscious mind, a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, a lot of difficulty, but focus on the fact that on the other side is you getting exactly what it is that you want, being aware of what it is that you had in the past, or the difficulties you faced in the past are going to bring you to where it is that you want to be now in the future. And it's also going to make it so that you set better boundaries. You're aware of your personal power, and you will not repeat the past. You will not go through the things in the past that hurt you again now in the future. You really want to show up in the world exactly as you are. And you're rebelling against anything that tries to stand in your way, and anyone that tries to stand in your way. But you're doing it with resolve and integrity, as you do as a Capricorn. You're not questioning your worth anymore. So you're not letting anyone else do it either. Pluto stations direct this month too, which is also very powerful. Pluto is still in Capricorn, but when Pluto stations direct, a lot of action is going to be happening. So that's going to add to the feeling of momentum. No more opposition in terms of your identity, in terms of your sense of self, in terms of feeling like, when am I going to get it? When is it going to make sense? That feeling of being a victim to divine timing is lifting for you in October, and you're going to see all of these things come full circle, especially when Pluto stations direct. A lot of action, a lot of activity, and Pluto in general has been transforming you, it's been refining you, it's been creating you. And in terms of who you are and your sense of self, it's just forward movement, which is why people are going to see you clearly, and they're going to want to connect with you. They're going to understand your vision. They're going to understand your narrative more now than they ever have in the past. A lot of change and a lot of transformation. I'm very happy for you because there are a lot of rewards here. So big rewards in your finances, big rewards when it comes to your connections with other people. But this is a video about self, and so most importantly, it's big rewards with the self. You are feeling very big in your sense of self-love and self-contentment and self-empowerment. You know who you are, and you really want to experience that in all of its luxuries and all the things that life has to give to you. It's been a hard-earned relationship with the self. You have a strong sense of identity that came with blood, sweat, and tears. And you're showing up authentically, you're showing up empowered, and you're great. That's the biggest conversation for you in October, is realizing how great you are, how interesting you are, how dynamic you are, how authentic you are, how powerful you are. And that is the big conversation for you, and how you're seeing it then show up on the outside. So all of the work that's been going on the inside showing up on the outside, which is great. And by the end of October, you're going to feel great and ready to step into November with the application of all of the things that have been going on during this month. Like I said, a lot of pressure is being released. So you're just going to start to feel day by day, piece by piece, things kind of falling off of you. You know, a lot of that weight coming off of your shoulders. So, and delegation. So as I was, people showing up for you and people helping you and people wanting to kind of take those bags from your hands. So really, really good. A lot of change, a lot of transformation. You guys are used to that. Everybody's changing and transforming, but you guys have been doing it more than anybody over the past few years, especially over the past 15 years, so it's nothing to you guys. In fact, you're ready to embrace it. You're excited for it. You know how to deal with those intense emotions that come with transformation. This is nothing more than muscle being added to your already toned emotional body. So yeah, be ready and be open, because it's looking very, very beautiful for you, okay? So I love you guys. We're going to get into the reading now. So let's get into this. The subject for yourself on a personal level is the Six of Pentacles, clarified by ascending with heart. The key we've got for your healing points, your advice, and in the shadow. All right. So let's make sure that we're kind of straight here. Okay. So just for clarification, the shadow cards, I don't know if you guys can see them really well, but your shadow cards are here as the Three of Swords with the Ten of Pentacles in reverse and the Lovers. So in terms of on a personal level, the subject for the month of October, kind of like as I was mentioning in the astrology portion, is all about giving and receiving. But not just giving and receiving as in you're battling between giving and receiving, but what does it mean for you to open yourself to a new reality of receiving more than you've ever have in the past, right? Where the overgiver, the overdoer, the overachiever becomes someone who's finally getting returns on your investments. But it's not necessarily saying that it's all going to be easy. It's all going to be a cakewalk, because in the shadow, we've got the Three of Swords, Ten of Pentacles in reverse with the Lovers. I mean, just on a subject matter alone, clearly you're trying to restore yourself from a lot of pain and difficulty in your past. You are feeling like your heart is broken, and you are kind of like balancing that pain within yourself. Ten of Pentacles in your reverse, it seems like you are afraid that you're not going to get the abundance that you desire the most. The completion of this process, you're worried is not going to find you. And so you're kind of in a headspace where you're questioning a lot of that. You're holding on to pain. You're remembering pain. Pain is, it's almost as if those swords, because if you look at this card here, it's almost as if those swords are standing right at the edge of your chest, and you're not sure if they're actually going to penetrate or not. And that's a part of the fear that you have going on. It's like you've been through so much, so you're kind of like waiting to exhale in a sense, and you're trying to make sure that these swords don't go all the way through, I guess, right? And in terms of the Lovers as well, what connections are going to serve versus what don't. You've got all these people around you, and you're afraid. You're afraid of who's going to hurt you or who isn't. What is going to work for you and what isn't going to work for you. What is going to come of these newfound dynamics that you are creating. Can you make the right choices? Are you going to make the right choice? Is this person the right choice? Is this decision the right decision? Can you get out of this space of pain and difficulty when it comes to giving and receiving, which ultimately is other people, right? So the journey of others and how they have been affecting you. You've got a strong sense of self going on here, but all of this pain and all this residual weight is not necessarily about you. It's about how other people have affected you, how other people have put you in a space where you're so afraid to function that your Ten of Pentacles, you're worried is not going to find you, because there's strain going on in terms of love, strain going on with pain, strain going on with finances. It seems like everything around you is threatened, like as if it can all fall. And you're worried. You're worried about letting that in. You're trying to stay optimistic, and you're nervous about your decisions. But here we have advice is very clearly faith in the process. And this faith in the process card, as I said, is not very easy. There isn't anything energetically about this reading that feels very light to me. It does feel kind of eerie, and it's not necessarily negative. It's just that space where there's healing being brought forward, but it's not necessarily a space of complete optimism, because the light is not necessarily all around you. It's kind of like, okay, you've been beaten up so much. Here is kind of, how do you say, like you've been through this fight, you've been through this war, and here's a good Samaritan trying to give you a sandwich. And you're questioning whether the sandwich is poison. And the good Samaritan's giving you a smile on their face, and the smile feels a little bit too pure, and you're wondering if you should take the sandwich even though you're so very, very hungry. It's kind of like that. You've been through a war. You've been through so much emotionally, love-wise, career-wise, in every single way. You've gone through a lot. And so you're feeling beat up. And so it's kind of this new beginning in terms of what it is that I will move toward, what it is that I want, what it is that I'm here to receive, these new bonds, these new connections. Again, you are now in a space where what it is that you've dished out is now being brought back to you. The Six of Pentacles is a very harmonious energy. It's a very beautiful energy, especially for you as an earth sign, because the effort that you put in is being brought back to you, the returns on your investments. You have to have faith that you're getting the returns here on your investments. And these fears that you're having are simply just that, fears, right? Because we've got the Six of Pentacles, and it's clarified by Ascension and Heart with a Key. When you look at Heart with a Key, it's like welcoming love, meeting the one, opening your heart, getting together. So there's a lot of bonds, there's a lot of connections that are bringing you to a new space. Again, transcending obstacles, learning, expansion, new phase, preparing for union. So there's a lot of these connections being formed, and they're all very positive. The Six of Pentacles is a positive card, in that it's saying that there are all of these people, there are all of these things around you, and they're here to work in your favor. But you've been through a lot. You've been through a lot, and you're worried. You're feeling this fear. It's like I said, it's like those swords are kind of right there, and you've done everything you could to kind of like hold them at the edge, and worried about them falling in. And you're like, I want to make the right choices, especially with the Lovers being in the shadow and all of these new connections and all these new people around you. The worry is that you're going to make the wrong choice, or you cannot trust them, or how exactly are these investments going to work in your favor, or are these connections or these relationships going to work in your favor? But you need to open your heart. These bonds and these ties are working for you, not against you. Have faith in the process. It's all coming to life. So one of the biggest things here is it's not about your effort. You've already put in so much effort. It's about receiving. However it looks, however it seems, because you're going to be questioning a lot of things. You're going to be questioning people a lot. There's going to be a lot of people around you, and you're going to be questioning them. But have faith in the process. However it looks, however it shows up, however they show up, you're okay. You're going to be okay. But it's all about returns on investments. The karma is already set in stone, and it's working in your favor. So we've got your inner spiritual power can heal circumstances in your life and our world in ways greater than you realize. Journey within to gain clarity and conscious redirection of your inner energies toward that which you wish to manifest. Do not try to control what is happening. Again, back to this space, right? Faith in the process. Do not try to control what it is that is happening. You've already done the things that you've needed to do. Just receive. Allow yourself to be given to. You have to open yourself up in order to receive what it is that you need the most, in order to let people in order to align with people that work more for you, in order to let people help you. So it's not going to look the way you're used to it looking, which is a part of why faith in the process is so important, because you're questioning the process. You're questioning everything. And so you need to release that and move toward what feels the most guided in that respect. You don't know everything, and you don't know everyone. So allow new beginnings to take foot in a way that benefits your personal development, because your personal development has gone through so much and is in a very positive space. You with yourself is in a very good space. Trust in the process of learning how manifestation is all about you being it, and then receiving what it is that you deserve the most, because you are already it. Do not try to control what is happening. Instead, work to bring positive influence to bear, so that you may contribute constructively toward shaping the outcome of the greatest good. So again, going deep within the self, all of this new stuff that you've gone through in terms of yourself and your character and who it is that you are and what it is that you want, the work that you've already put in, the sense of self that you've already created and developed. I keep wanting to kind of tell you about Leo energy. And the thing about Leo energy is Leo as a, not necessarily Leos that you know, right? But Leo, the energy in itself, is all about knowing who it is that you are and receiving what it is that you desire the most simply through that. Whereas you guys, and that's the fifth house, whereas you guys doubling the fifth house, you tend to feel like you have to prove through what you do. You've already done what it is that you've needed to do. It's going from within. So again, all of your development has happened within. And the thing about this card is it's all about coming from inside of the self and expanding on the outside. There is no movement here. It's not about thinking differently or putting in any effort toward any which way. It's what has already been created and developed within you, expanding on the outside. Releasing control, releasing the need for action, and allowing yourself to align with that which serves you the most based on who it is that you already are. Just want some clarity in a minute. We got the Devil, the Six of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Nine of Cups. So the Devil energy is yours. You are, in fact, the Devil. We've got that here clarified by the Six of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Nine of Cups. So this message seems very clear to me. Normally, I would say that the Devil is your viewpoint of empowerment, right? You being your most empowered self and working in your own divine narrative. Usually for me, when it comes to Capricorn and the Devil coming out, it's all about kind of like embracing your fortitude, your ego, your zest, your vibrato. But in this case, it's actually kind of saying to me to go deeply internal within the self, to kind of go back into your space of knowledge and release whatever energy you're dealing with in terms of kind of keeping yourself in a heavier space. Because that Devil energy seems tied to the past. And yeah, it is your space of empowerment, and it's the space you go to when you need to survive and when you need to really push and kind of show the world what you've got, your sex appeal, your edge, your power. But again, it's sitting right next to the Six of Cups. There's something about that feels very much past energy, where the Nine of Cups is standing next to the Wheel of Fortune, which is more your future. So in terms of advice or what it is that you need to do, it's more like staying grounded within this energy, knowing what is what. You've learned a lot. You've gained a lot of confidence. You've gained a lot of momentum. You gained a lot of power. But it's knowing what is the past and what is the future. Understanding what not to project into this new wish fulfillment that you're finding here. Because the Wheel of Fortune is very much spinning. So the past is no longer present. What is present now is the future. This wish fulfillment. All of these cups are fully flourished and they're filled because of the work and the energy that you've already put into this point. There's great change afoot, but change is uncomfortable. It's unusual. It's uncertain. Especially when you've gone through so much and you've had to fight and you've had to remain strong. You've had to be in that Devil energy and push the best way that you can, well, it's keep you in a certain headspace, and now you're here moving beyond that headspace. Allow it to be your base point, but know the difference between what is past and what is future, and allow yourself to move into this wish fulfillment. Again, very positive, very positive. There isn't anything about this that feels very heavy. There isn't anything about it that feels wounded. It actually feels like that eerie space of healing. Kind of like after you've been sick for a long time and you start to feel better, and there's something about it that is very uncomfortable. You know, very kind of like you're very slow moving, you did so much to make sure that you got over this flu or whatever it might be, but you're still kind of weak, you still feel a little bit empty, and you have to start new, right? You have to allow somebody to give you the bowl of soup and trust that it's not going to make you sick, okay? Because you're moving into your wish fulfillment. This wheel is turning and you're moving into your wish fulfillment. This space is an empowered space, but it's the space of the past. Allow it to be your ground while you step off into the future. You're okay, and you can trust. But go step by step, one step at a time. Faith in the process. It's not going to look the way you think it's going to look. That Wheel of Fortune, along with faith in the process, is going to look in a way that is quite unusual to you. And it's going to confuse you, and you're going to want to take control of it. Mainly because of where you've been. And that's okay. Breathe and walk yourself through it, and allow things to pan out the way that they will. It's all working in your favor. So anyway, so that's your reading. I love you. Ciao.